But for sure, what's up, man? Ooh. Not yet, baby. High five. Gotcha. Your name sounds Italian. You want some yogurt? Yeah. Give you some, boy. Mario. The gentleman who's from Italy, Viterbo, his name's Mario as well. That is an Italian name. Ready? Baby. I meant to give him this like right before this thing started. You ready? Got it?
Yeah.
There you go. Keep that shit. There you go. QFX, what's up, man? What you doing? Scrub creamer. I have about an hour and then I have to go. God. Scrub creamer. Got the zoom in shot, which means we're going to be working on the features, eyes specifically. All right. Curry, what's up? Hey, Curry. This old saying goes, there were more Marios, the more Marios, the merrier. That is too funny. You just got there and he's already like, are we going yet? Yeah. He's always like that. Get him. He's doing good. Is this music going off already? What the hell? Woo! Do I ever paint at home? No, I don't. Don't paint at home. I like going outside to paint, but I can't paint at home. I could paint where I live. There would be no point though, honestly. Um, I guess where my mom and dad lives, there would be more space. Can't do it. Too much. You see the ranting about the War Within Season 2 Warrior set. That's the worst of all the classes. I didn't see that. Spill tea. It's a lot of BS. Spill tea on romances in school. Oh, the romances in school. That I could do more of. Students, teachers, models, models with other models. We had two strangers, a male, female model, fell in love during one season drawing. I dated one of the models, but she wasn't. I didn't have her as a model. Does that make sense? She was one of the nude models, but I didn't like see her naked. I've never seen her naked, like nude model. So she was really cool, really good girl. Italian, very pretty. And then let's see what Joker's still. you you want some dirt, don't you? What brand of palette knives do you recommend? Uh, let's see. I'm using Creative Mark. Creative Mark. This is a good one right here. But I don't know, man. I wish I could help you out more with that, but for sure. I bet having an art studio is fun until you have to actually leave your house. I love having an art studio. Some sets look like fire for the DK or Rogue. Um, I haven't really looked into it that much, to be honest with you. Um, but yeah, see the romances at the school. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to out anybody. You have to understand. I a lot of this like I don't want to. I really like all these people, and it's not a bad thing if they dated this person or that person, but I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable by putting out that type of information. I prefer doing like funny stories of people that I know they probably wouldn't care about. It's more of more things I would say to them, right? Kind of like when they would roll up. Like I said, everybody would roll up on their sports bikes, and it was like, everybody's acting like Top Gun. What do we do? We paint. I mean, it's fun stuff. In art suits, old oiler hitting on the nude model. The old oiler. What is this? Who does that remind me of? Um, Ever had a bait and switch where you signed up with one beautiful model and they pulled a switcheroo with the old? That never happened. I don't think. That would be traumatizing if that. I don't think that happened. Oh, these are good questions. These are good. I like them. I really do. Uh, I, it's Joker. You had me like yesterday. I was like doing that thing, thinking I was like about a lot of things I hadn't thought about in a long time, and then I got home, and Mom was listening to U2, which that like a lot of those songs were playing at the time when I remember them. It was like 2000, 2001, and it just brought me back, which whatever. Actually, that looks okay. But yeah. Um, um, The Love Boat. Older artists always have the craziest stories. I mean, I said I would think about it. I haven't really thought about it that much. There is a lot of stuff. It comes to me. I'll have some good stories. I'm in rush mode right now. I don't have a lot of time to paint today, unfortunately. Sorry, I'm a streamer. I have to start using the proper streamer lingo. Unfortunately. All right, look. First, we have to lock in, and then we vibe, okay? We're locking in right now, and then we just vibe, all right? So you gotta lock in. Give me a second. I need to lock in. Let me lock in. Locking in, and we're gonna vibe. Odd Nerdrum, I love Odd Nerdrum. Was he in Enigma while you were in Florence? No, I mean, you know what? I like his work, but I think it's like it starts becoming there is this ugliness to it that I do not like. Almost like it's degenerate, but because I think some of it really is, but um, beautiful textures, strong influence. Um, solid artist. See it. Um, Shakuri. I mean, I like him. I like him. He's not my favorite, but he's okay. He's okay. He's still alive right now, right? Like I know he's up there in age, I think, right? How old is he now? Hmm. Old Moody is gonna wake up and say, "Ouch, my eyeballs." Did Grave School ever have an official rivalry with Maestro Michelangelo, who had original or had original had? Oh, you're talking about Johnny Angel? You mean the Angel Academy? There was a healthy rivalry, yes. Now, at the time, we were stealing their students from them because people were trying to get into the academy, the Florence Academy. I'm pretty sure the Florence Academy is still like solid. It really depends on who's teaching there, in my opinion, at the moment. Um, but like, yeah. So yeah, there's always been that rivalry. However, it's not like I was actually friends with a couple people from the Angel Academy. One of the guys I would always work out with. Um, we'd go to the gym together, bro. Um, One of them, Brian McNeil, is very good friends with. He's a tattoo artist right now. I don't think he's doing. I want him to be doing, like, you know, fine art, oil paintings and such. But to each his own. Odd as 80? Okay, yeah. Because I knew, so I wasn't sure if he was still alive. Because I knew, like, even at the time, back in the day, he was up there in age. And I don't really keep up with him. Ackrell was there when there were 12 students, yeah, in the beginning. Yeah. Then they had 20. How many, how did you feel about Watered Down? Oh, so when I got there, there was, let's see, there were about 25 in the painting building and about 10 or 15 in the sculpture who were in the painting program. So there was probably, there might have been like 35, 40 people like in the painting program at the time when I got there, I think. By the time that I had left, that had doubled. So it was at a point of growth, right? You know. Sorry, I'm trying to, I know this is blurry here, that the depth of focus like on the camera is pretty honed in right now, but like I'm trying to get as much information to you guys as I can in terms of mixing and stuff. I probably shouldn't have done that. And this is generalized. Let's bring that up some. They had saw your YouTube episode about making wood paint panel. Was there a plywood sheet? That one? Yeah, that's plywood. That was birchwood, right? Is that what you're asking? Was that a plywood? It was, yeah, it was birchwood, plywood. Yeah. It's always going to be a good video when I started out in the bathroom. And that's not the first one I've done that with. Here, boy. My baby. Baby. Here, baby. Good job, boy. Uh-oh. Mom's going to get upset with me over this one. She won't. I'm a big boy. Second. I'm just trying to get a little bit more definition in the eyes. Honestly, it looks fine from back here. But I just want to push this as much as I can. All right, water. Good boy. Babe, babe. Woo. Yeah, birchwood plywood. Mhm. Binge watching. It's good. It'll lower your IQ a little bit, but it's worth it. If photos are okay to work from, um, in screens, how do you feel about using AI to generate images to inspiration? I am fine with that. That's a very you have excellent questions, and I'm not just saying that. Yeah, and AI, that's a point of contention for a lot of people. For me, um, what I don't like about it is the fact that it does siphon off of the information there, and it is like plagiarism in a way because it's not giving credit to the sources, right? In my opinion, like I don't know how I'm not a programmer, but if there's going to be AI, there should also be a file that accompanies it that has like a list of like credits, right? This is where it's from. It's not an original idea. So I've done like one or two paintings off of AI, but I those are not my concepts. Even I don't care. People say, "Oh, but I put them in. It's an art to like put it into like write. Oh, like a hill, gloomy. This like there's things you can say. That's bullshit. So I am fine with using it personally as a source of inspiration, but I will always publicly say this is where I got my inspiration from. And if I do a copy, because I've done copies of stuff before, I say this is AI. It is not my concept. This is just so I'm very clear about it. That's me. Because a lot of people take credit for it. That's not good. That I don't like. Now, my outlook might be wrong because I have not, my thoughts might change on that. So. Which ways do you work from memory or imagination? For instance, making a background and expressive use of color. Uh, right now, currently, I'm not doing that as much. I prefer to have like a reference or an image or something. If anything is from my imagination, it's because I have been doing a lot of landscapes or I've been doing a lot of portraits and I'm able to get that touch on it. And so, but I'm not like making stuff up and just throwing them out there right now. Does that make sense? So, um, yeah. So like the easier things get technologically for us, the more dependent we get on them and we lose an edge, a personal edge. So we gain something, but it's always a trade-off. So personal discipline has to come in, and that's not always a good thing. So these are very good questions. You'd let AI carry you to glad, yeah. You mentioned the word degenerate. Degenerate. How do you feel about realizing your colleagues, fellow students, kind of lean towards soft core sfumato pinup college-age girls? Oh, I mean, it's not necessarily a good thing. Look, it depends on if somebody's like, there's nothing wrong with painting a beautiful young woman. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the manner in which it's painted and what it's trying to impart. This is just common sense. I don't care who's doing it. I'm not going to change my view because my friends did or didn't do it. So yeah, if it's something where it's like, if it's not something that's respecting the dignity of a human, and it's instead objectifying it like, into like some base sexual thing just to satisfy a selfish desire, that's not good. But if it's something that you're respectfully, like you're actually trying to, it's like a, respectfully painting something to denote beauty and to help show people like a good way of looking at somebody instead of objectifying them. That's good. I don't like this stuff where it's like the shocking sexuality, like somebody puts like a boner or something in because they're like, oh, I did that. And then people say, oh, yeah, it's messed up, but you got to respect them for doing it. You got to respect them for doing it is a bullshit thing. And that's what a lot of people say. So that's the degenerate that I mean. It's like, it's not good. You can put whatever technique you want on it. And there's some truth about like technique and ugliness and such with it. But he has very beautiful technique. He's a strong work ethic, I think. And a lot of the pieces I like, but mostly it's just like stuff that, to me, it brings me down when I look at a lot of his work, personally. I think ideally you're always trying to lift people up with what you do, whether it's subject matter or the technique or whatever. I think that's important. It's the next logical play for convenience, right? Play to skip level to 80. Try hard. QFX always with the Warcraft comparisons. And I understand what you're saying. Or the Pradhan type versions of young men teetering just on the brink of peekaboo. Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, unless it's just I think I've made myself clear. I think you know what I'm talking about. Cremetti. Grandmother would yell us, say, you indignants, yeah, degenerates, ingrates. Quite an opinionated young man you are, Louis Cremetti. Yep. Yeah, I have a thought about something. He's so opinionated. That's it's just my thoughts. There's nothing like, I mean, you're getting into like sexuality and all this. Just just be respectful. It's not. What about some of the ARC winners' opinions? I haven't been keeping up with that. I'm kind of under a rock right now. Like, I hardly even have time to do this stuff in here. It's kind of bad, actually. I'm going to soften this some. But if a lot of that stuff's being put out, I mean, you have judges, right? That like, you have somebody who's okaying it, but that doesn't mean that it's something wholesome. It just means this guy approves of it, right? So I can't speak on that because I don't know enough. But like, in hypotheticals, like, yeah, if if like some picture of, like just something really awful is picked by a very respectable place, that doesn't make it a respectable painting, right? In which ways classical realism goes, awry or askew, subject matter is mundane. In what ways classical realism goes awry or askew? Um, oh, I mean, classical realism is like, it's I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to see it painting for painting, honestly. You talk about the Thursday model. I refreshed earlier. Wait, did you talk about the Thursday model? No, I didn't. QFX. Joker, you have like, how are you coming up with these? They're really damn good questions. In the military, if I asked how to do something, answer was very carefully, don't kill yourself. Biggest criticism of Gray's methods, it's just a documentation, not a poem. Oh, uh, in other words, it's just, they're just trying to teach the method, not trying to make a work of art. Is that it? Because I actually have some thoughts, like, this is a good topic right here. So answer my question first, and then I'll go off. I want to make sure I understand. Oh, did she show up? It's Thursday model, and that's going to be tomorrow. Last week's didn't show up. I had a model with my shorts on. It was horrible. I know this looks weird. Get off my back. Right, Justology, look at what I can do. Okay, so when you're a student, this is very important. Because an artist, okay, gosh, I have so much to do, but I really want to talk about this stuff. Okay, and even Sir Joshua Reynolds spoke about this in Discourses on Art. Take that down some. It is very important not to be artistic in the phase where you're just learning the the mechanics of things. It's supposed to be cold. Well, I suppose you could make the argument that you could be putting. I could argue this either way. I'll argue it this way first. When you're learning, and you have to learn how to draw a figure absolutely accurate, using sight size method and comparative measurements all at the same time. That's supposed to be in tandem, not divided. You're supposed to fully understand the figure and be able to train your eye to see everything perfectly. You're training yourself to build up A, B, C, D. These are the stages, and get those just ingrained. In my opinion, it's important not to be artistic at first, because in art, when you're like in this painting, for example, granted, this isn't like a copy, so this might not be the best example, but I'm like, you're pushing the colors. You're having to like sometimes exaggerate the colors a little bit more. Like, for example, Michelangelo would make, the muscles a little larger. Like you're doing slight alterations to the work, and also you have these multi-figure scenes and stuff with it. It can be overwhelming at first. It's good to start on a fresh level, learn the language first, and then from there, once you learn that language, you will push your art forward much quicker. Sir Joshua Reynolds said it's important for students to forgo that artistic drive at first in favor of just the cold, hard, technical language, right? He said it takes a weak mind to lose your artistic drive after a few hard years of study. That's what he said. Now, you could argue the other way around. You could say, well, training to be an artist, you could still get the technical things of everything. It might take a little bit longer, but you're also getting practice as an artist, and you never lose the drive. You could argue it that way too, but I think the former. And so when I went to the Florence Academy, Daniel Graves says this is not an art school, really. He says it's not artistic, because we're teaching you just a language, so it's not really the Florence Academy of Art. However, when I was in my fourth year, because we understood like the mechanics of everything and we were able to produce solid paintings, he started pushing us artistically at that point. Okay, so what he says, like, so he actually, it's not that he doesn't believe in art, it's just like to start training, this is what he believes. Concepts, okay, so Reynolds, and I'll read this stuff up top. Reynolds also argued concepts over technical aspects. I mean, eventually, but Dada misused these quotes to justify absurdity. So also argued concepts over technical aspects. Yeah, I have that book. I will have to dig it out. How about Harold Speed's books? I've Harold Speed. It's been so long since I've read any of his stuff. I have, like back in the day, but okay, like concepts. We were still. Where's the bottle? Where is it? Guys, y'all have been watching, right? I presume. Did y'all see what he did? Did he drink this or did he just throw it out everywhere? All right, I need to catch up. Anyway, I think it's one of those things. It's a broad subject. Some of the concepts, like like we're taught always to downplay this fold right here, stuff like that. I don't know. I think it's concept per concept. We could talk about it as more specifics. So the way that I look at it, a lot of people try to put expression into their work. Like art's putting expression in, but if you're trying to get an accurate representation of what you're looking at, that expression is going to it's going to affect that. It's going to make it harder on you. I think push you back some. That's what I think. Might be wrong about that. Depends on the method of teaching. Let me catch up here. Last week wasn't the dude, though. That was a new model, a new woman. She never showed up. I love it when a painting tells a story with symbolism like the old masters, yeah. But how do you know you are far enough with learning to start being artistic? That's a good question, Shakuri. I think when you're comfortable, when you can do a solid block in and you're painting and you're understanding the painting, like you get to that point where you're more comfortable with the material and you have confidence in what you're doing, right? But it requires having some solid teachers around you as well. At least for me, it would. Rojoko, after graduating, professor told me, now must learn what you have learned, unlearn what you have learned. That's weird. Last time he was there, he drank it. No clue about today. Okay, I think all artists have their own methods. Yeah. Yeah, but we're speaking specifics right now. Obviously, people have their own methods, but this is a good conversation. But I think, like, if I was having to copy this directly, like, it would be very difficult for me to put expression into this when I am learning so many things in here. I could like, because art has a lot to do with feeling stuff, I think, and I think that the art part would conflict with the observation in the beginning. Because in the beginning it's so hard to grasp these concepts. It takes all your will to like get them. It's not natural for you at first. Is the method just a revivalism of French Academy, or have you dealt with Impressionists, Monet, Casset, and Degas? I don't know. What's up with those models leaving you hanging? Does their word count for nothing? It does. I think they're bots, personally. I don't think they're real people. This looks horrible, and I've spent so much time on it. All right, I'm just going to simplify this. Do this. And then let's go in with this. Joker, these are good questions, man. These are good. It makes me think. It really does. You know. And here's the thing. They're good. They're good. I'm not like I'm one of these people who kind of maybe I should spend more time thinking about this stuff. I just don't. I guess I don't know. Just trying to simplify this some. Because the way that I look at it, I'm like, okay, so I'm saying this, but if there's another teacher who knows how to teach this other method, you know, like being artistic at the same time, well, let's see their work. Let's see if, you know, like if it works, it works. You know, I'm not like married to this. This is just like my experience right now. That's what I think. Did you squish the brush to hold a pointy edge? I'll show you what I do with that. If held at gunpoint, could you turn this painting 3/4 view or change his expression, still preserve lightness? No, these are good questions. Just curious about structure underneath versus strictly optical. So the only way, like, to get structure, you have to be thinking about structure. I don't know. I don't know if I'm good enough to do that. But I am doing my best to understand the three-dimensionality of the structure. So the way that I was taught, okay, recently I've heard a lot of people bashing site size, saying, oh, well, site size isn't good because, like, you know, doesn't teach form and this and that. Like, you know, that's why I believe in, or site size isn't good because you're not using comparative measurements. All right, so from my experience, site size is just another tool, and this is relevant to what you said, is just another tool that you use to get the likeness of something. I think it's very important because it teaches you to see the exact size that you're looking and being able to copy, to train your eye to see the distance, the width, and all this. It hones your proportions, and it gives you a very easy way of measuring. But I was taught to do that, and at the same time, you're also using comparative measurements by looking at the whole thing all at once. So I keep on saying, I'm doing this piece, but I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at the whole thing all at once. And I was constantly getting, like, the teachers were constantly saying, you're losing the form. You're losing the form. You have to think about the form. Go up, look at the model from the side, this and that. So we're using site size, but we're using comparative measurements, and we're thinking about the form all at the same time. That's how I was trained. I think thinking about the form is so important. If you don't think about the form, it's not going to show up in your painting. You're not going to accidentally get form. You can't just copy it in there, like blindly. Well, I guess you could blindly copy it in, but if you understand it, that understanding is going to show. So most art schools just teach expression. The work looks like ass. Exactly, it does. Delacroix said the only people who should use a model is those who don't actually need one. Did he? Don't actually need one? Sounds like a stupid thing to say, personally. Who don't actually need one. If you need a model, I mean, what are you going to do? I don't know. Maybe I don't understand that. See, I'm not one of these high mind thinkers. I'm not. I'm, you know, like, I'm kind of like, if it makes sense, then I'm like, okay, it makes sense to me. I am very simplistic. Sometimes very concerned about how simplistic I am. No doubt colleges and universities are modern, postmodern, relative morality cult, but could classical artillery realism be a Culty? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. What do we mean by that? But yeah, I mean, like, so Joko, I always advocate for understanding what you're drawing, like form wise, like thinking about the form. I always say an artist's understanding is, or a drawing is an artist's understanding of what they're looking at. You have to know this, like forms 101. You got to get that stuff. Understanding is the peeps who need one should study anatomy. I I don't know. There's like it feels like that's an issue that somebody says a statement just to sound smart, but if you think about it, it's just the most retarded thing you've ever heard. Like I don't even know why. I don't care if he's famous or not. Like-mindedness to an extent. Oh, yeah, it can be that cultiness, I guess. Yeah. I mean, anything where it's like teaching a certain method and you're a student, you're molded by your teachers. That's going to create, I have that, right? I have a bias towards classical realism. This is how I was trained. So if you ask me how to go about studying, I believe in the methods. I went through the methods, and I think the results. I'm not always the best representative of this, but you go by the results. You go by the fruits of the methods, right? That's how you discern it. Like a lot of people, they sound smart talking, saying this, saying that, but you got to look at their work. Florence Academy has awesome work. People like to bash it, and there are better places out there too. And that's why you look at the work and you learn from it. As a famous philosopher once said, when you see something strange in the neighborhood, call someone else. We're the best. Sargent, he's awesome. And let's see. I'm a big fan of Bouguereau. The Russian painters are really awesome. Geez, I just need to see, my thing is with this is a little bit difficult for me just because we don't have a solid reference. Another painter his name is like skipping my mind right now. I can't think of him. And I can't believe I can't remember his name right. It's not coming to mind. But he was one of the rivals. It's one of the Marvel rivals. I love Bouguereau. Fragonard, Bouchard. So, in the academy, a lot of people bash Bouguereau, but I thought they were idiots for doing that. I think his work, especially when you see it in person, is freaking insane. And a lot of people did like Bouguereau. It's not everybody. I'm generalizing. It's okay to not like, and look, it's okay to not like Sargent when you're at one of these academies. Solomon J. Solomon is freaking insane. Unsubscribing right away. Not a fan of Bouguereau. It's like Boog. I was about to throw my table. Shakari just flips her table up. Son of a bitch. Oh man, guys, I gotta get going. Y'all got me talking. Here's the thing. Don't worry. I'm never gonna stop streaming. I always aim for at least 3 days a week. But some of the stuff I might have to do off stream because y'all ask such good questions, and it's not your fault, Joko. Y'all bring good conversation, but a lot of this stuff, like I need to push past my own limits right now, and it's hard to do that as a painter when you're looking at the phone the whole time and talking. So I'm just saying, if I come in one of these sessions and it looks different, that's what happened. By the way, BTW, this painting is so freaking sunken in, I can't see anything. It is just like a sheet of sunken in-ness. It's pissing me off, actually. Yes, that is an excuse, but it's also the reality of things. It's where we find ourselves. Do you recommend copying masters, or yes, definitely, or incorporating their methods of effects? I do. I do, because they've achieved what we're trying to achieve in reality. I think copying masters is one of the best things to do. And AI has a lot of solid effects that I think you could use to copy, but do not take credit for that work if you do it. Say, this is a study, this is AI, this is what I typed in, these aren't my, like, make it clear, and don't do the social media stuff. Look at what I did, everybody. And if you do, say what it is. Like, that's what I was, but I think the reason why I say that is because AI, love it or hate it, whether it's right or wrong, you can get some solid effects out there. Like, you can make a solid landscape painting and then you can copy it and you can really learn a lot from it. But it's always best to copy something from like real life, especially like from a museum. That's like the best thing to do. That's number one. But otherwise, yeah, I definitely recommend old masters, current masters, whatever. The Boogeyman. I love all those artists, but also Frazzetta. I don't think I know Frazzetta. I don't think I know who that is. Maybe I do. What would the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles do? Eat pizza, which is what I'm hungry for right now. Dad and I are listening to White Stripes, right, Dad?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. I wish I could play it again. Twitch. We used to be able to play this until I got banned. Permabanned. Permabanned from Twitch for doing classical art when they said that I could do it. Hot tub streamers? Sure, fine. That's fine. This isn't over? It's not over? Is it, Dad? No, it's not over. Here, let me bring this out some for you guys. Let's bring this out just a little bit here. Actually see what we've done. More straight on shot. Let's see if I can do this. Boom. There we go. It's extremely sunken in. But it's just like I don't want to keep on oiling it out because it's not good for the painting to do that constantly. Frank Frazzetta. Did Brian cancel today? No, he was here. In fact, I even told him, I said if you want to, because he was working on a drawing. And I said, if you want to stay around, man, I'm going to be streaming. You can stay and, like keep on drawing. He's like, hey, I got to get going. I'm going to go to the gym. It's like, all right, good. Get in shape. The video of him that I released last Friday has almost 2,000 views on it right now. So I told him, I said, they're good sports for letting me put that stuff up. I feel like everybody needs to understand. Terry, Brian, Katie. Katie's like the hope for humanity. She left. She's no longer in here. She moved. But we saw some videos coming out because I'm so far behind. What's up, boy? Hey, baby. What's up? You all right?
I know.
We're going in a second, okay? You tired?
Yeah.
You want to go?
No.
You want to go home?
No.
You want to go home?
No.
I think you do.
Thanks.
Okay. A baby. We'll go in a second, okay?
Okay.
All right. Joko, didn't the French Academy and the British English academies make the students paint from imagination for final project in order to graduate? I don't know, but painting from imagination is very good for you. Those are still with Katie. Yeah, she left. I was like, she didn't want to go either. She was, I mean, her husband, I'm not bashing anybody, like, for his job, and she was sad too. She was sad. She like, the art class, she really loved this class. But I'm like a couple months behind in editing, and I'm trying to catch up so I can start releasing 2 videos a week, because I'm filming 2 to 3 videos a week and I'm only releasing 1 a week. So I'm like really far behind in video work, which is good because I have a lot of stuff I have to release. Like I won't have any problem releasing videos now, but I just need to get them edited up. Thumbnails take me a while because I do everything as I should. But yeah, that killed me. I was like, when she left, oh, so disappointing. But we have like, we had 2 girls come in last week, and then I think they told her friend or something, because like they're like, yeah, we're fun. So I think we might have a total of 5 people this week. I don't know. We'll see. I've really been putting a lot into trying to get people in the class and get new models. This is rough, man. We kind of like lost a lot of people, and then the models stopped being like 2 of the models can't come anymore. And Trader, like ultimately, if you were in prison like David but didn't have a window, could you draw and paint stuff from memory, imagination like Hannibal Lecter? I could do that. But I think that's like getting all the like fine anatomy and stuff in here. It would start looking a little bit generalized after a while. But I know when I was like still at the Florence Academy of Art and we were doing like a lot of figure drawings and stuff, like we're drawing from the model every day, I could do it much easier. So like the more drawing you're doing, the more you're able to go from real life. But like you can lose it if you stop, and you can regain it pretty quick though too. So yeah, like so I could definitely do that. But like I said, it's always like there's nothing that replaces just like real life. Honestly, it's real life. You're always like, oh wow, look at what's happening here. Look at like different lighting situations, and you know, just like in anything. It's kind of like one of those things. Have you ever done something like, especially if you're like doing a drawing or something and you're working on it for like a whole day straight, then you go to sleep and you can see the drawing in your mind. It's kind of the same thing. No models, no Katie. All big sausage party now. I still want to see, not this week, man. We have a female model and we have, I think, 2 or 3 girls drawing with us. So we have, it's me, Terry, Brian, and then 2 or 3 women. We know you love it. If I sub up, I'm gonna make the guild. It pays the bills, bro. Stupid, man. Are you still struggling with that? I thought you said, no, I'm not subbing because we can't play together. I thought that was your stance. Is that still your stance? There's not enough time because what happens is your love for wanting to play is always there. So you're constantly fighting it. So you say, okay, I'm going to sign up. But then you say, well, I'm never going to get to play with the rank 1 mage. So WoW's not worth playing if you can't play with me. And so you unsub. And this has happened several times now. So where are we at? A light sight? No, I think that's a great insight. Do you have a memory palace? Do you find old paintings and forget about the time you spent painting them? Do you go and I do forget a lot of paintings that I've done, and I'm not kidding. And guys, I have the potential to do a good painting, but I literally hate everything that I've done so far. And I'm not just saying that, because I look and I'm like, why did I do this? Why did I do that? Like, this is too tight now. So I'm going to have to repaint the eyes. Look at this. Why is this 1, 2, 3? Like, what is that on the eyes? Why? It's because I'm overthinking it. I'm overdrawing. And part of that is me fighting the sunken in part. But I mean, that's why I'm saying I just need to probably, maybe tomorrow instead of streaming, I might just go through and just knock these eyes out. So I just do stupid shit. I hate my work. I do. I love painting. Don't get me wrong. I'm not down on myself. I'm just being honest with you. My stance is kind of want to play, but I just don't want to make sense on US because they're 6 to 10 hours behind. And you guys literally play right before bed. No, we don't. No, we don't. Not on the weekends. You saw it. Look, you saw us the second time we got back on. I got back on at 4 o'clock. It was like 10 o'clock your time or something. But we had originally gotten on at 1 o'clock. All right, so that's 7 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock your time. All right, so we started playing at 1. And then also on Sunday, I'd do the same thing. So that's 2 right there. But I mean, I hear you too on that. I hate the division between Europe and America. I wish there was some way you could swing between the two. Such bullshit. Boy, my baby. Boy, my boy. Baby. Guys literally play right before bed. I recall an art class drawing left brain to right brain drawing exercises. So I could feel the switch when it happened. Interesting. Never satisfied. You're right, Shikari. Never satisfied. I just need to look at this different than I am. I haven't really worked on the lips. Don't like the eyes. Especially this one. All right, I'll go back in, but I have to do it off stream. I can't focus on stream to do that type of stuff. There's things I can do on stream. But when it comes to like pushing like the very subtleties of this, I don't think I'm at that point yet. But what I do is I do some like light recording. So I might make a video of this so you'll still see some of the stuff. But if I want to play, I'm stuck to shuffles when it's 6 to 10 a.m. for US. I'm just going to queue into juicers. You're very fatalistic. You're not always going to queue into juicers. If your model was on the 3rd floor, but your painting setup was on the 1st floor, and you had to go back and forth. Oh, I see. Because they did this, I think, on the stairs. How long can you hold what you observe in your memory? I think for a decent amount of time, because like when your visual memory, like we would observe from back here, and then we'd look, observe, and I'd have to, like I'd go up and go 1, 2, and put 2 lines down and go back and check. So it would be definitely, obviously it would be a change, but I think like I have done that for so long that it's just like that builds up your visual memory, right? Because you have to hold what you observe from back here all the way up front constantly all the time. And so I could be wrong. I don't know because I've never tried it before. But I'm looking for a lot of excuses to not give Blizz my cash. You seem like a tormented soul, and I feel like Blizzard's getting the better of you because of it. Sometimes I think that's it. I quit, I suck, and a few minutes later I'm back painting. Because you're not a quitter. And you have to get through that stuff. I mean, this is hard. Look, I'm not content with, I messed up a lot of things. The eyes don't look good to me here. Okay? I'll fix them. If I just have to re-simplify them, squint down and just put a couple brush strokes in, and that's it. It's okay. I've overworked them. I have, in trying to get the form and the structure. Okay, fine. Fix them. And I probably should look at some old master paintings before I go back into this. It's not a bad painting, but it's not good. Guys, anyway, I'd love to keep on talking, but I do have to run, actually. But y'all are awesome, and I will see y'all hopefully tomorrow, but I don't know. It depends on what I can get done with this. We'll see. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. You guys take care. I'll see you.